Manifestation, the law of attraction. You've heard these words thrown around a lot, right? And they're often wrapped up in this kind of mystical, almost magical vibe. But what if getting what you want in life wasn't about wishing? What if it was about engineering? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into a really powerful scientific way to create real results. And we're going to be guided by a master who has spent his entire life perfecting this process. And that quote right there, that says it all. It sets the tone for everything we're about to talk about. This isn't about just thinking positive and hoping for the best. No, this is about building a life, your life, on a rock-solid foundation of science, of strategy, and of real, dedicated practice. So let me introduce you to our guide for this journey. His name is Osman, and he's also known as the blind Muslim yogi. He has literally dedicated his life to taking these incredibly complex, ancient sciences of yoga and meditation and simplifying them, turning them into a practical, results-based system that actually works in the modern world. His whole mission is to bring back this lost science to help people like you and me improve every single part of our lives. And look, when we say a lifetime of mastery, we are not kidding. Get this, we're talking about over 50 years of advanced practice. At some points in his life, he was training for up to 18 hours a day. He's a master-level bioenergy healer who can use telepathic healing based on quantum entanglement principles, and he specializes in helping people recover from the most critical and terminal illnesses. He even achieved his first samadhi, which is this profound state of meditative consciousness, when he was just 19 years old. This is the level of depth and experience we're tapping into today. Okay, so to really get a handle on Osman's scientific method, we first have to look at what everybody else is talking about. We need to deconstruct the modern idea of the law of attraction. Now, for a lot of us, we were first introduced to these concepts by pioneers like the late, great Bob Proctor. The guy was a legend who taught these principles for over 60 years. And the core idea that usually gets passed around is that if you just focus your thoughts hard enough, you can attract what you want into your life. But here's the question. Is that the whole story? And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It shows you the massive difference in approach. On one side, you've got what can easily turn into passive wishing, right? Just hoping things will happen. But on the other side, with Osman's method, you have a scientific process. You stop hoping for results and you start actively engineering them. You move from saying vague affirmations to building a structured daily action plan. And this isn't just some ancient secret. You hear this everywhere in the modern world. On his podcast, The Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett is constantly drilling down on this very point with his guests, like Mo Gaudat, the former chief business officer at Google X. They talk about how success isn't just a mindset. It's about building systems and taking deliberate actions that actually get you somewhere. The vision is crucial, for sure, but it's the nitty-gritty daily execution that makes it real. You hear the exact same thing from tough-as-nails guys like former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink, who's often on the Joe Rogan Experience. His own mantra is discipline equals freedom. And then you've got people like Mel Robbins, who teaches the 5-second rule, which is all about taking immediate physical action before your brain can talk you out of it. For all of them, the secret ingredient is the work itself. Action is the one thing that's so often missing from those popular manifestation models.
So if action is the key, how do we make that action more effective, more intuitive? Well, that brings us to the core of Osman's technique, what he calls inner programming. This is where we get into the how, the real science of programming your internal world to drive that external action.
The scientific key to this whole thing is something called the theta brainwave state. Now, this is that incredible, kind of magical zone you're in right before you fall asleep or just as you're waking up. It's a state of super deep relaxation where the door to your subconscious mind just swings wide open, and that makes it incredibly receptive to new information, to new programming. And here is exactly how Osman puts it all together. His personal daily practice starts with a minimum of 2 hours of energy work, things like breath work, which naturally gets his brain into that theta state. Then, while he's in that highly suggestible state, he uses repetitive listening, like audiobooks on systems or philosophies, to install the very beliefs he wants to embody. It's a scientific way to program his subconscious, which then makes his daily actions almost automatic. So let's be crystal clear about this. This is not magic. This is applied neuroscience. It is leveraging a known physiological state of your brain to systematically overwrite your old limiting beliefs and literally install a new operating system that makes taking the right actions feel natural and intuitive.
Now, what's so cool is that this method doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's actually this powerful mashup of cutting-edge science and ancient wisdom. Let's take a look at how it connects with what other experts are saying.
Osman's work is like this amazing bridge. On one side, you've got the hard science from neuroscientists like Dr. Andrew Huberman, who explains on his Huberman Lab podcast how specific protocols can optimize our brain. Then, on the other side, you have shows like Buddha at the Gas Pump with Rick Archer, where they explore the very nature of consciousness itself. Osman's method brings these two worlds together. He uses the neuroscience of brain states to practically apply to power of intention, and he channels it all through relentless daily action. And this isn't just a cool theory. It's totally confirmed by the science of neuroplasticity. Like Dr. Andrew Huberman often discusses, focused attention combined with repetition is the exact mechanism our brain uses to rewire itself. So when you're doing this in the theta state, you are literally, physically building the neural pathways for success inside your own brain. Okay, so how can you actually start using this powerful, practical philosophy in your own life? Let's break down Osman's formula for engineering real results. It all starts right here, with this big number, 99%. So what is that? That's your foundation. The non-negotiable 99% is your strategy, your plan, and the actual physical, tangible work you put in and day out. It's the calls you make, the emails you send, the work you put in at the gym. It's the grind. But the real magic, the thing that makes all that work so much more powerful, is in this final piece. The crucial 1%. This is the refined practice of inner programming. It's what aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, and it makes that 99% of effort more focused, more effective, and just easier. It's the ultimate supplement to your hard work. It never, ever replaces it. And this is a really, really important point, especially when it comes to Osman's healing work. His services are always offered on a complimentary basis. They are an incredibly powerful way to support and enhance healing, but they are never, ever a replacement for getting a proper diagnosis and treatment from a qualified medical doctor. So I guess this brings us to the big question, doesn't it? After seeing this whole scientific framework, are you ready to shift your mindset? Are you ready to stop being a passive wisher and start becoming the active engineer of your own life? If you're nodding your head yes right now, here is exactly how you can begin. Osman is really committed to making this knowledge available to everyone, so he has a ton of free resources. We highly, highly recommend you start with the free 5-minute yoga and meditation program you can download right from his website, yogawellness786.com. You can also find a massive library of in-depth lessons on his YouTube channel, The Blind Muslim Yogi, and you can listen to his podcast on both Apple and Spotify. And for those of you who are looking for that deeper one-on-one work, you can find info on his premium healing and consultation services on his website as well. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.